So welcome to my YouTube channel, Chef Michael Douglas. So today I'm going to teach you basic knife skills. All right. So what we have here is some vegetables, a cutting board, a French chef's knife, okay, a handy dandy little ruler with my knife cuts on it. All right. The first thing I'm going to show you how to do is how to dice an onion. Okay. So this is an onion. Everybody knows what an onion is. All right. There's a tip that comes out the ground, and there's the roots that stay in the ground. The vast majority of this particular type of onion is underground. Okay. This part comes up and turns green. All right. You'll see on the onion there's striations. All right. The root holds the onion together. All right. So we do not want to cut across the onion until the last cut. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut this onion in half, horizontal, vertically, top to bottom, root to tip. All right. Just hold it still. And just go straight across. There we go. There's our onion. Start off the other side. All right. Now, I'm going to show y'all how to dice the onion. All right. So we have the root here, tip here. All right. A non-dominant hand. I can take and I can peel this first layer off. Okay. Sometimes this first layer is kind of persnickety. Cut the tip off. All right. Then it makes peeling it a lot easier. All right. Most of the time it makes it easier. A little bit of it. All right. Now, I do not want to remove the tip. All right. I do not want to remove the root. Okay. I want to keep the root. I'm going to use the root to hold on to the onion. Okay. And the root, y'all see this off-colored part right here? This is going to hold the rest of the onion together. As long as I don't cut it, onion stays together. All right. I'm going to turn it face down so that all the cut surfaces are on the cutting board and not floating up into my eyeballs, making me want to cry. All right. Most people, they start their dicing of the onion by cutting it along the striations this way, and then they start cutting this way. But they have to hold the onion together like this. All right. My method's a little bit different, only slightly. All right. You can take your hand, all right. You're going to lay it flat, and you're just going to put it on top of the onion. You're not going to press down. You're not holding it. You're not squeezing it. You're not pressing it. You're just merely maintaining it to stay in shape. All right. With your knife, you're going to come in. We're going to say about 1/4 of an inch. Make sure your knife is perfectly horizontal, going all the way across, back to front. Okay. And you're going to go about to right there in your cut. You're not going to cut through the root, okay? But you're just going to go up to the root, all right? If need be, you can pull this to the edge of the table a little bit. Maybe make one more. Okay, that'll probably be good for right now. All right. Onion still stays together. And at no time do we put our hand or fingers in harm's way, right? Okay. Now, we know about where we stopped with our blade. We're gonna come in with our knife. We're gonna go straight down with our tip. Straight down. Then we're gonna come over, make a nice straight cut. Some onion pieces will come out, not that big of a deal. All right. Okay. Now, onion still stays together. At this next cut, the onion is going to start coming apart. Okay. So we're going to do what's called the claw. We're going to take our fingers, we're going to spread our hand out like this, our non-dominant hand, okay? The one that's not holding our knife. All right, we're gonna spread them out like that. We're gonna take these 3 fingers here, we're gonna bend them in like that. And the knees here, we're gonna be used to grip like that, okay? And do like that. It takes a little bit of practice. It's not a very comfortable feel when you're first starting out and learning, but it's the safest way to cut your onions and stuff, okay? So you're gonna put your fingernails on the top of the onion. Your pinky and thumb are gonna stay back, okay? Your pinky and thumb are gonna move the onion forward as you cut. Now, if you'll notice, the middle knuckle here is gonna be the biggest one. It's gonna stick the furthest out. You're gonna put your knife blade up against that, okay? If your fingernails are tucked in, like so, and your knife blade is up against that flat knuckle here, like so, you're not going to cut any of your fingers. Now, if you start going fast, and you start getting relaxed, and you start doing this, then you're gonna cut your fingernails at best, or cut your fingers at worst, or cut all 3 of these knuckles. That'd be really bad, right? Keep them tucked, keep them under. You're gonna come in, you're gonna slide forward. Okay, just like so. Sometimes the onion has little pieces that don't want to cut, not a big deal. We're going to cut the entire onion. Now, when it gets to a point where you can no longer hold it, don't. Pull that off to the side, okay? Now, as diced onions go, as we cook these are going to fall apart, nice and small, be just fine, okay? You can take these onions here and put them in a bowl. Okay, now, what do we do with the root? What do we do with the tip? We're gonna put them in there, all right? We do not throw away the roots and the tips because we can use them for stock, okay? We can use them for sauces. We can use them for flavor. There's still a lot of flavor in here. The paper, not so much, but the roots and the tips, this stuff here, a lot of flavor still in there, okay? So we don't want to throw those away. All right. I'm gonna show y'all how to julienne an onion, okay? Same basic idea here. We're just skipping a couple steps. All right, so here's your onion again. There's your root, there's your tip, all right? I like julienne onions. One, it's a nice, easy cut. Two, it looks good, I think, okay? Especially on larger, sweeter onions that you might want to use for toppings or something like that, that you want to eat maybe raw. Now, for a julienne onion, right, there's a root, there's your tip. We're going to cut the tip off. That's going to go for stock. All right. Now for the julienne onion, we're going to spin it around. We're also going to take the root off. Keep that part. Now, we're going to take this, we're going to turn this, we're going to do the little claw, right? And what we're going to do is we're going to take it, nice, straight, even strokes all the way through. When it gets to where we can't hold it, flip it over, okay? There's a cut side right there. And there we go. What's going to happen is these are going to cut up, these are going to break up. Sometimes we'll go in and manually break them like so. And get these wonderful little onion pieces like that. This would be good in salads. If this was a red onion, fantastic in a salad. But we can do this with them like that. These are great. These are julienne onions. Flip it over like that. Okay. Set these off to the side. All right. Next thing I'm going to show you all how to do, we're going to dice some celery. Okay. I like diced celery. Celery, I think, sometimes might be a little bit big, and so for most of the things I do diced celery. We can do sticks of celery. Maybe we want to do appetizers, whatever. We can do sticks of celery. We can do batonets of celery. We can julienne celery. Now, generally, what I'm going to do, these little side pieces here. I'm going to cut these little side pieces here off. I'll take a little bit off the top, and I'll take the white part off the bottom. Do we throw these away? No. No. They're going to go right there in the same stock pot with the onions. Same thing with this one here. All right. So generally what I like to do is, celery is relatively long. I want to get it down to a more manageable size. I'll take it, I'll cut it in half. Okay. Now, depending on the size of the diced celery we're looking for, sometimes in half. We'll cook it on me on that one. Sometimes we go in fourths. We'll just stick with half right now. That's not too bad. I'll straighten this one out. All right. We're going to line them up. We're going to bunch these all up together. Once we've got them all bunched together, we're going to do the claw. Okay. And we're going to go if it gets to where we can't really hold it or manage it and control it, take that last little bit, slide top. Our nice pretty celery, fill into the bowl. All right. Now, we can do a lot of different things with the carrots. These are carrots, right? Everybody's familiar with carrots. So we can do a lot of different things with carrots. We can peel them. If we peel them, we're gonna put the peels in with the stock stuff, okay? We can do rounds. We can do different bias cuts. I'll show you all what those look like. All right, so a round, start by taking this off right here. We could peel them, but I'm not really worried about peeling them at the moment. So a carrot round, that's what it sounds like. We're gonna cut the carrot in nice, pretty little round pieces. All right. Maybe we have carrots that are cut in half. So we end up with these cool little half moon shapes. Right? These cool little half moon shapes like that. Sometimes people will cut these carrots that are big like this. Again, so they get these cool little quarter moon shapes, or kind of like triangular sort of shapes there. It's really up to you what you like in terms of your carrots. I'm not gonna say you have to do one or the other. Although I will say, when you're cutting up vegetables, regardless of what you're doing, you want all of them to be of similar size and similar shape. So if we're doing small diced stuff, they should all be small diced. Okay, you don't want some big dice this, some little dice this, some weird whatever. Now, you can do different vegetables in different shapes, that's fine. Okay, but understand that when you're cutting them up differently, they're gonna take different times to cook. So you can't necessarily just throw all your vegetables in at one time, because some will be way overdone and some will be like, oh, barely getting started because you decided to cut them in different shapes. All right, so I'm gonna show y'all another one. All right. There's a bunch of different cuts that you'll see in your textbooks or online or whatever the case may be. One of my favorite ones is the carrots. It's called a bias cut. Right? So with a bias cut, you simply take the carrot, or whatever the case may be, and you turn it on an angle, okay? Or you turn your blade at an angle, okay? So you start cutting, and you get this, okay? This is the same thickness. Which one of these others? This is roughly the same thickness as this little half moon shape. But look at how much bigger it looks, okay? It's still gonna cook relatively in the same amount of time. Although, if you had a nice little stir-fry dish, which is gonna look better? A little carrot or a bigger carrot? This would be a great one to like have if you're wanting the carrot to be nice and pretty and seen, sure. If you're looking for a carrot to be like in a pot pie or in a stew or something like that, where it's gonna cook down, then maybe these smaller ones are gonna be what you're looking for. We'll put those carrots up. Now, all these carrot pieces, maybe got a piece of root. Stalks, okay? Most of your hardier, we'll say earthy vegetables like celery, onions, carrots, garlic, and a lot of your herbs, they're gonna go great for stalks. So we wanna keep all those things. Your softer vegetables, your softer leafy green vegetables, maybe not so much. Your very starchy things, maybe not so much, okay? So things like bell pepper, they're good in soups, they're good in sauces, but not in stocks, because they're gonna just dissolve and disappear and kind of turn like a mush. It's not really what you want. All right, so I'm gonna show you all a couple of different cuts using potatoes. All right? So here are 2 potatoes. All right, I'm gonna take a moment, I'm gonna peel them. Now, potatoes are starchy, okay? They are not going to be good for stocks. Potato peels are not going to be good for stocks. We can use potato peels for other things, appetizers maybe, all right? We don't necessarily have to peel the potato if we want to, if we want to have that peel for it. The peel actually has a lot of vitamins and fiber. That's going to be pretty much the only place where the potato is going to have vitamins and fiber, okay? So you'll see me using this vegetable peeler. The bad spot on it, we'll just go ahead and get rid of that. Potatoes, apples, cauliflower, a lot of your white starchy things especially. As soon as you peel them, cover them with water. If it takes you a long time to peel a single potato, after you peel that first one, put it in water. Or before you even start peeling a potato, put it in water, okay? Now, we do this so that it keeps the potato nice and pretty and white, okay? Now at the same time, what it's gonna do is, it's gonna draw out a little bit of the starch, but we're gonna go ahead and dice this up right here, so it's not that big of a deal. All right. Now, if you look at a potato, you look at it from the end, you'll notice it's more like an oval, okay? So there's slightly flatter sides, okay? I don't know if this is like the orientation it was in when it was in the ground, but that's how it is, all right? So There's a slightly flatter side. What we're going to do is we're going to turn it. On its edge, we're going to hold it still. And we're going to take a little sliver off the bottom, okay? Right, like so. Now, the scraps from the potatoes we can always turn into like mashed potatoes or potato soup, or cook it, make half brown. I don't know. Now, you'll see that this potato, as opposed to the other one, doesn't move around, right? I need this potato to be still. If I'm going to cut on it, I don't want it moving on me, okay? So it's not going to move because I cut a flat side to it, right? So I'm going to cut a few slabs here. I'm going to go about 1/4 of an inch. Okay, that should be good. Now, I've cut a few slabs of potato here. I'll do that. I'm going to turn them. I'm going to cut a few sticks, the same thickness, 1/4 of an inch. All right, so we have now 1/4 inch by 1/4 inch by however long this potato is. This is called a batonette. People call it a French fry because it looks like a French fry. Yep. All right. Now, from these batonettes, from these little sticks, we'll take them and we can turn them. We're going to even this up a little bit right here. We're going to cut another 1/4 inch. All right. These 1/4 inch by 1/4 inch pieces, small dice. Small dices are really good. We can use them in a whole bunch of different things. Now, by changing how we're cutting these potatoes, we can change how big these pieces are. Potatoes are considered relatively standard and uniform. But we can do the same cuts on carrots and on most every other vegetable we got. Right? We can take some. And if we cut the 1/4 inch by 1/4 inch batonette in half, we end up with 1/8 inch by 1/8 inch. We get juliennes, okay? We can take these and dice these up and get brunoise, and then we can even cut those down a little bit further into even smaller little pieces, okay? We can go all the way down to this little bitty 1/16 by 1/16 if we wanted to. But for the most part, these little things like this, these batonette sticks, these are going to be probably some of your most useful cuts of vegetables, okay? There are other basic cuts. I encourage you to go and look. You'll see this video up on my YouTube page. Hit the like. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button. And thank you.